Do you ever feel that life is just constantly speeding up? Like time just passes by faster all the time. Like you blink and somehow another week or month has passed. I've found myself feeling that way for a while now. And based on what I've heard from other people, I'm probably not the only one. It's not that life is necessarily harder than it used to be, although in a lot of ways it probably is. It just feels, it's just faster, it's just relentless. Almost like we're being pulled along on autopilot without ever slowing down at all. It feels like the months pass at a rate that the weeks used to. It really is quite strange. And the problem with that, when life feels too fast, I think we stop being present for it. The days blur together, and even the good moments kind of slip past without us really noticing. I think we need to find ways to slow down a little bit, or we're going to wake up one day and we'll realise that we've just been rushing through life instead of really living it. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today and maybe share a few thoughts on how we might be able to at least feel like life has slowed down a little bit. And mainly just to let you know that if you are feeling a similar way, you're definitely not alone. Now, I don't think this point is going to come as a surprise to anybody, but we've still got to talk about it. Think about how different life used to feel, even just 15, 20 years ago. You'd wake up, maybe have breakfast, and the first thing you'd hear was the radio in the kitchen or the sound of your family, not dozens of notifications pinging on your phone. If you were waiting for the bus, you just waited. Maybe you people watched, maybe you daydreamed. Now, every single quiet moment gets filled instantly. The second we feel even a hint of boredom, we grab our phones, open an app, and we scroll. Our brains don't get those natural pauses anymore, the little breaths in between things that used to make time feel slower. And I think this makes a lot of sense. If you've ever had a day at a job filled with back-to-back meetings, it feels so much more chaotic, even than having a short break in between where you can just rest and gather your thoughts for a second. That's basically what's going on with ourselves every single day now. Our brains never get a break, everything blurs together, and that's why time feels like it's just slipping past so quickly. Another thing I think speeds life up is this constant obsession with productivity. There's this constant pressure to always be doing more now. Be more productive, make more money, optimize every second of your day. Even rest has turned into something we try and measure. People track their sleep, gamify their reading habits, or try to make relaxation efficient somehow, which is crazy if you think about it. And the problem with that is that when you have every hour in your day packed full, the day doesn't actually feel longer, it feels shorter. If you think about a day where you were back to back with errands or tasks, I bet you feel like those days flew by. You barely remember what you did. It's just one blur of checking things off. That's what productivity culture is doing to us. It tricks us into thinking we're stretching time, but we're really compressing it. We're stuffing so much into the day that we don't actually experience any of it deeply. And when you don't experience something fully, it just passes by in a flash. Something else that speeds up life isn't just how much we're doing, it's how much we think we should be doing, and that comes from comparison. We used to only compare ourselves to a small circle of people around us, family, friends, maybe some co-workers, but now we've got the ability to compare ourselves to thousands of people online, strangers, every single day. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll be scrolling and suddenly I feel like everybody else is way ahead of me. Someone's buying a house, someone's travelling the world, someone's hitting another milestone, and even if your life is actually going okay, it still makes you feel like you're behind. It's like being in a race with 100 people, but every time you look around, you only notice the ones that are ahead of you. You don't see the ones behind you or the ones running at the same pace as you, only the ones ahead. And here's where time comes in. When you feel behind, you start rushing. You want to speed up, you want to catch those people up. And the more you speed up, the faster life feels. You don't slow down to enjoy your own pace, you just push harder to try and catch up. And that constant pressure to catch up makes you feel like it's slipping away even faster, because you're never satisfied with where you actually are. And I think another reason time feels so fast these days is because we've lost the little rituals that used to break life up. Think about it. Walking to school, sitting down for dinner as a family, watching a show that only came on once a week. These weren't just routines, they were markers in your week. They gave the day or the week kind of a rhythm. Now everything is on demand and instant. You can binge a whole season in a weekend, meals get eaten while scrolling on phones, and even commuting time is filled with podcasts or emails. Without those natural markers, time doesn't feel segmented anymore, it just feels like a blur. And here's the thing, our sense of time isn't just about the clock, it's about the moments that stand out and give your week structure. When we lose those markers, days and weeks just melt together, and before you know it, whole months feel like they've just disappeared. So what can we do about it? Now, I'm not an expert, I'm just a guy who's been feeling this way, like I think a lot of people have, so I don't have all the answers. But I do want to leave you with some thoughts that at least make sense to me and could help slow things down maybe a little bit. I'll call number 1, protect moments of nothing. Don't try to fill every gap. Try standing in a line without pulling out your phone or walking without headphones once in a while. Those small pauses will give your brain just a bit of a breather and they stretch out your sense of time. Number 2, do one thing at a time. Multitasking makes time blur because you're never fully present for anything. Cooking while scrolling, working while checking emails, watching TV while you text, it all just becomes a mash. Try doing just one thing and notice how much more you actually feel that one thing. Number 3, rebuild rituals and markers. Create anchors in your week. Maybe a Friday night walk, a Sunday call with a friend you don't get to see much, or even setting aside one night for reading instead of screens. These aren't just routines, they give your week a rhythm, so days stop blending together. Number 4, slow down your consumption. Instead of binging, let things breathe. Watch one episode of a TV show and sit with it. Think about it, instead of waiting until Netflix asks in disbelief if you're still there. Read a book slowly instead of scanning the pages as fast as possible. When you space things out, time feels richer, and not everything has to be a race. Number 5, find activities that absorb. Whether it's gaming, drawing, cooking, or exercising, spend time on things that pull you into the moment. Not mindless distractions, but things that really absorb and focus your attention. Those are the moments where time doesn't rush. It deepens and feels meaningful. At the end of the day, life probably isn't moving any faster than it used to, let's face it, but the way we live makes it feel like it is. And if we're not careful, the weeks, months, even the years will just blur together. Slowing down doesn't mean doing less, it means actually being here for the moments we do have. Because one day, I'm sure that we'll look back and I don't think we'll remember how productive we were or how many notifications we answered. We'll remember the small things, the conversations, the rituals, the pauses. And maybe that's the real secret. Time only feels slower when we actually take the time to live it. Anyway, that's just what's been on my mind lately. I'm keen to know if you've been feeling the same way. Does life feel like it's speeding up to you too? Maybe drop a comment, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm just figuring things out as I go, same as everybody else. So if you want to stick around for the next one, I'd love to have you. Until then, please take care of yourself.